Hey y'all, it's your girl Symone and welcome back to my channel. If y'all can see by the title, today's another story time. Before we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give a girl a thumbs up, comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials, Instagram at Vivalayoshii, TikTok and Twitter at Lifewithsymone. And let's get into this Subbie Sunday. I know it's been a while, y'all. It's been a while, but if you watch my vlogs and stuff, y'all already know that I'm in the process of moving. I just been having a lot going on, so sorry. Catch me when you catch me. But anyway, before we get into this Subbie Sunday, y'all already know I gotta do my community spotlight of the week. So let's go ahead and do it. We got, oh, it's the same ones from last time. Oh, no it's not. Okay. We got Rochelle Gillette 1137, Munch Mango 11, Tasha and Stuff 59, Woolly 32, and we got That's Chic. Thank you guys so much for being my top commenters of the week, and I hope you guys hype me. Y'all know I'm just putting myself on. It's a new feature down below called Hype. So if you could send your girl some points, thank you. You get 3 points. I mean, you could send them 3 times a week. I've been doing my research, but yeah, you can send them 3 times a week. So yeah, show your girl some love, please. I hope I'm worth one of y'all points, hype points, because yeah, it's free. So let's get into this Storytime Subbie Sunday. Y'all already know I'd like to do my NGO link on top of doing the stories that I have on my computer. So let's go. We're gonna start off with the story and then we're gonna, you know, bounce around. So this one is titled, I Caught My Dad's Girlfriend and My Uncle Doing the Do. What? It says, hey Symone, love you girl. I already named everyone in the story. So my dad girlfriend, we're gonna call her Rose, and my uncle, we're gonna call him Aloe. So it was a few months since Rose and my dad had been dating. A few months later, my dad started working night shifts and I would go to my grandma's house, which means Rose was home by herself a lot. And there was this one evening my grandma forgot her glasses at my house, so she told me to go back to my house down the street to get her glasses. So I saw Aloe's car in the driveway and I thought maybe my dad went home early. So I called him and he told me that he was working and to let him know what's going on. So I called Rose a couple of times and I heard her phone ringing on the couch and she didn't answer. I went in the house and heard Mona and SEX toys. So I went upstairs, started recording on my phone and opened the door and caught Aloe and Rose kissing and doing the do. I sent the video to my dad and told him don't tell her because they didn't realize I was in the room, and her b-day was next week. My dad gifted her one of them CVs, whatever you call those, and she turned it on and saw her and my uncle Aloe doing the do. Sorry if this was long. I have more. Let me know if you want a part 2. Love you, Symone. I love you too, sis. That wasn't long at all. It was right into it and I love it. But that is so crazy for her to just be sneaking around with, and then she in your daddy's house and be sneaking around with his brother, and then your uncle is dirty and wrong too, because it's like, what? That's your brother, your blood brother, and you're coming over here sneaking while this man is at work providing to take care of his household and his you know, and you over here sneaking around with his bum ass brother. What? I'm happy that he did find out that you did tell him and that he did cut her loose and let her know, like, yeah, ho, get the fuck, yeah. But thank you so much for sharing, sis. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna read another story and then we're gonna go over to our NGO short stories. So this one is titled Subbie Sunday. This one is juicy. So it says, oh, and then she put a different title. I love him and his homie. Girl. Okay, so it says, hey Symone, my name is, okay, I don't know if she want me to say her name, but my name is blank. First and foremost, I want to say I love you the most and I'm so proud of how much you've grown. I pray God continues to bless you and guide you. Your loving and bubbly personality definitely reminds me of me. And my favorite about you is in all of your stories, you give unneeded and extra detail that's probably don't apply to the story, but I understand exactly when you give them, LOL. I also love your story times because I know every street damn near everything you speak on in the stories. When I first heard your story times, I knew I wish we kicked it back in the day. I'm from LA and I'm 22, but I swear my big cousins had me a part of the jerking era too, LOL. But I have a real juicy story time for you. My apologies if this is a long-winded introduction, but I'm definitely excited, LOL. Thank you. No, you did. It was perfect, sis. Thank you. I loved it. Okay. Story begins here. So this story is called I Love Him and His Homie. This is actually recent, I want to say in 2023, but it began in November of 2022. So we're going to name my ex Craig. Me and Craig met where I grew up, which was in the jungles, Baldwin Village. When I was 13, he was 17. Fast forward, Craig ended up going to prison, but I didn't know, so basically he disappeared and I never spoke to him again until I was 17. He ended up getting a phone in prison and hitting me up on Snapchat, and I was so surprised because I always wondered what happened to him, but I couldn't ask around because technically he was too old for me. But we we ended up texting and talking on the phone, catching up. Me being young and dumb, I left my free and age appropriate boyfriend for Craig, who still had 5 more years to go. Silly me, right? So fast forward, I was never really the hunching type, so I didn't care that he was locked up. I was just playing the wife role over the phone. So during the time, I'm buying him stuff, you know, just being dumb, not missing a call, sending him pictures in the mail, sending him letters back and forth. And this was on and off from 2020 to 2022. In the midst, he was getting transferred and no longer had a cell phone. So fast forward, we would argue a lot, and he would cuss me out about anything. Like if I was with my cousins or homegirl or even at work, he expect me to dip off and talk to him, and if he heard anyone in the background, he would say I'm wasting his time because he only had a certain amount of time on the phone. Wasting his time when he ain't got nothing but time is crazy. But not to mention, when he gets mad, he'll call his mom a bitch, me a bitch, and his granny a bitch. He did that very often. Me and him was very toxic, even though this all could have been avoided with me just hanging up or changing my number. So of course I didn't. So I want to say pushing toward November 2022, I was going through a lot. I was stressed out and he was stressing me out. I moved out of my mom's house and it was just so much going on that he didn't understand during that time. I didn't always answer the phone or send letters, so he was starting to feel that from me. Looking back, I also remember the time the Lord was pulling on my heart trying to get my attention. I was changing. He had a celly, this is where it gets juicy, and we're gonna name his celly John because he had a long John Silver, LOL. Anyways, Craig will always tell John to say hi to me over the phone. He will always talk to John about me, and John knew everything about me because Craig had my pictures all up in their cell. So I knew John was one of his cellmates, the guy that gave my man advice on dealing with women. He was older, by the way. Craig was 24 and John was 33. So fast forward, John ended up getting released before Craig. Craig told me that he gave John my number basically to communicate through me and run plays together. So during this time, John would hit me up about simple stuff, asking about Craig. But at this time, me and Craig was always into it. Because I told him I was at a different point in my life and I wasn't tolerating him calling me out of my name. And I was fed up with him after dealing with him for so long. The verbal abuse literally became annoying. Also, he would do weird petty stuff like rip my pictures up and send them back to me in the mail. So I was over it. So boom, at this point, I'm living in Riverside and Craig stayed like 40 minutes away. And he knew I did hair, so I generally felt like he just liked me just because. Besides him checking up on Craig, he would randomly text me good morning and I wouldn't reply because I felt like it was weird. But I ended up telling Craig like, oh, John asked, can I do his hair? And Craig immediately said no. Like he said no and stood on it. So a couple of days later, I'm into it with Craig and I told him if he get me angry and call me out my name, I'm hanging up in his face. And his rule between us was if I ever got upset to never hang up in his face again. Because he just seen it as an ultimate disrespect. So he called me a bitch and I hung up. I was so tired. Tell me why? Tell me the fuck why after I hung up. He ain't call me no more, literally. So I was like, finally we done. So a couple of days later, John called me like, oh, Craig said he ain't speaking to you again. He done. I don't really care, so the conversation just went a different route. Mind you, he FaceTimed me with his shirt off, big buff tattoo chest, finer than my original man, LOL, just to tell me that information. So I definitely found it weird, but I still entertained it. It wasn't just built off me getting back, it was natural and he was older. So he always gave wisdom and he basically let me know Craig is still young and Craig is still young-minded, which is why he calls you out of your name and disrespects you. He really just became a shoulder to cry on and vent to because he wasn't at all like Craig. He was so soft-spoken, deep-minded, such as I am, cared about my opinions and listened very well. So at this point, we're constantly getting on the phone and FaceTiming. I tried to hook him up with 2 different homegirls, basically avoiding us being a thing out of respect for my ex, but he denied everyone I plugged him with and began to express how he pleasured himself to my pictures while he was in the cell with John. He said he always listens to stories about me when he told him. He told me that he would always ask about me when Craig got off the phone with me. How he grew to love hearing about me and the kind of person I was. Mind you, this all blew my mind. But fast forward, I knew he wasn't lying because woo. I ended up scheduling him to get his hair done, LOL. When I finally was in front of him, he would gaze at me and stare in mid-conversation, always stopping me from talking to let me know how pretty I was and how he loved my facial features. And let me tell you, while I was talking, he grabbed my face and began to kiss me immaculately. I'm such a sapiosexual, so I don't just get excited and get straight into it. My mind has to be stimulated, but he already did that, so I felt right to kiss him. So backtracking, I recall a phone call where Craig told me that him and John had a conversation about he eat a woman out the right way. And Craig explained to me what John said to do. Tell me why John did that same trick to me. It's been 2 years, 2 ninjas later, and still my best eater, child. I liked everything about this man, but a part of me felt bad inside. I questioned my loyalty many of times, even though me and Craig weren't together anymore, and even though he treated me like shit. But we be on and off, so in our book, what I did was foul. When John had that conversation with me, he expressed that Craig is his homie and he cares about him. He couldn't control who he had feelings for. Also, his point of view of me was always, Craig didn't deserve me. And I always said in my mind that John was definitely foul. Because isn't hood code bros before hoes, LOL. I'm not a hoe, but I felt like as an older man and as a silly who he once expressed his love about to me, I just expected more from him. But this definitely turned into love. Craig ended up getting released that following month into a halfway house, and the secret came out. The whole halfway house found out. His homies from his hood found out. It was so much drama. Oh my God. And I made an even dumber decision leading up to him finding out. John was the one I had drama with, but Craig was still by my side through it all, shaking my head. I chose John, y'all. I no longer talk to either one of them. In fact, John tried to reach out to me through his brother to apologize for all that he's done, but hell nah, boo, stay where you at. Craig was very disappointed in me and what I chose. He felt like I did him wrong after not sticking with him. He always told me to stick around for when he came up, and y'all, he did just that. I talked to him in 2024 and he had his own everything. He really came up, but he really looked dead inside, smoked out, stressed, and we were just catching up. But I was changing, so I couldn't see myself talking to any of them again. I just want everyone to know that I am now following Christ. I moved from Los Angeles, I changed my number, and I changed my life after all that happened. Let me know if y'all want a part 2 of how he found out and what happened after, LOL. Me changing my life was also during the time you had your first event for the subscribers, and I couldn't make it. I was so mad. And also to Symone, here's a picture of me, and here's a picture of Craig sent me. Him and John, his celly, before I knew he was his celly. Craig is on the right side and John is on the left. And here's an updated picture of Craig. I honestly cannot wait to hear your feedback and opinions in this story. I'll reveal myself to people in the comments as well, LOL. Thanks, Symone, and I'm def waiting on your arrival to ATL. I'll be attending whatever you have here. Love you. See you soon. Thank you, girl. Wait, I want to see the pictures. Let me see. Okay, I just looked at the pictures. They for me, not y'all. But y'all, I mean, sis, thank you so much for sharing your story. That is crazy. I'm happy that you like experienced it, but then you also learned in the end, and you didn't let that become your story to where you still dealing with these weirdos. You know, you changed your life around, you moved away, changed. I love all of that for you. First of all, I want to say John and Craig is both some motherfucking creepy weirdos, because first of all, why are you I never blame my victim, so don't think that I'm trying to say anything about you, because I never blame the younger girl, because the man is the adult. First of all, you sick son of a bitch. Not you, him. Why are you contacting a 17-year-old from prison? You're weird. And then for his older cellmate to know, because I know he told him like, yeah, she in high school or whatever the fuck, he knew everything. It was just a manipulation thing, and that's what he was just trying to do, was get into your mind, because they knew you was younger and they felt like you're impressionable and they could get into. I hate that. But I love that you did not let that define your future. Like I said, I love that you cut them off, because they some creeps. Niggas like that need to stay where they at, because what? But yeah, thank you so much for sharing, sis. Most definitely we want a part 2, because I want to know how everything unfolded. I want to know why you had drama with him. Like, I want to know everything that unfolded, how it played out, and everything like that. So if you up to it, please send us a part 2. Love you. Okay, I'm gonna do some NGLs. Also, that's what I was gonna say, y'all. Atlanta has been calling my name, so whenever I post on IG or tell y'all I'm going to Atlanta, make sure y'all hit me, because we gonna for sure do something. I wouldn't do like an event right now in different states, because it would be extremely expensive to do so. Events already be extremely expensive, so to like go to a different state or somewhere else and do them, that's why I haven't did it, because I really wanted to, but it's just everything to get a place to stay and then a venue. It just would be so much. So right now I have not been thinking about that, but most definitely when I do go places, I would not mind, you know, to link, hang out, whatever. I don't be minding. But let's get into some of these NGLs. So this one says, I was being grown in my friend's house after a game night. We was on the floor, head above a shoe rack in the living room. I was going to Pound Town. The iPad that was on top of the rack fell and hit me in the eye. We continued after, making sure I was okay, but I woke up with a black eye. Damn. That sucks, because I know nobody believed you at all. Because I remember when I got bit by a bed bug in my eye, everybody was blaming Seven. They was like, nah, because my eye was like shut. But yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so it says toxic friendship / situationship. So basically this dude I used to F with in high school stayed going back and forth to his ex, and I would catch him being too friendly with her. And when I confronted him, he would always get defensive. I don't have much space here. Let me know if y'all want the full story in an email. We do. And I hope you cut him off, because clearly he was playing with both of y'all. Most definitely. This is a good one. It's a question, but it says how to navigate family trauma and weird siblings. Don't deal with them. Honestly, just because y'all blood and y'all siblings, that don't mean you have to be close. Love them from a distance. You know, I love you, whatever. But if it's traumatizing, or if it's affecting my peace to deal with you, I'm gonna tell you how I feel, because you're my sister. You're not a friend. Like, I feel like, well, some friendships I will speak on it, but some where I just feel like I'm not gonna speak on it, I'll just cut you off. But it's like, since you're my sibling, I'm not gonna just cut you off. I will have that conversation with you, but once I'm not having it multiple times with you. You know what you did, you know what it is. So I'm gonna have that conversation with you. I'm gonna talk to you about it. And after that, if it's still the same thing, I'm protecting my peace. I love you from a distance, but we can't do this, because At the end of the day, you the only person that got you. So don't allow people in your space because y'all blood and allow them to just do you any type of way. So it says, my BD left me while I was pregnant and gave me 3 STDs from buying the cooch from the next girl. If you want the full story, hit me up. Girl, we want the full story. That's crazy. How you leave me and you gave me something and you cheated on me? What? They really be the nerve. It really be the freaking nerve. I had this best friend named, let's call her Sabrina. We will always come to my job and hang out with me and my coworkers. My job is super laid back, so they didn't really care. I had a crush on this boy named Ricky, and I thought Ricky was so fine. He was a chocolate lifeguard. One night, me and my coworkers went to an Airbnb taco night, and the boy I was talking to went to use the bathroom. Then I just remember seeing my other coworker disappear outside. I mean, everybody looking for her, thinking that she was outside. She was upstairs giving the boy I was talking to head. What? That's disrespectful. That's crazy. That's why coworkers is not your friends. Some of them might become friends, but 9 times out of 10, they not your friends. Basically, long story motherfucking short, I was talking to this boy all 9th grade year, and I finally wanted to give him my V card the last week of school. I gave it to him, and come to find out, he F'd my homegirl that morning, and they have been doing the do for the last 3 days. He bought her a Plan B and all. Baby, wait. That, I can't say certain words because you to be tripping, but SEX will always be there. You hold off. I'm telling you, hold off. Enjoy your high school years. Enjoy being a teen and just enjoy this life, because once you become an adult, you're an adult forever. You can never go back to being a kid. You can never go back to being a teenager. Enjoy this time. Be stress-free from men and boys. They're gonna always be there. Always. Even when you get older, like, they're gonna be there. When you get older, they probably still gonna be on the same BS. So imagine if dudes is playing the women mature faster game in their 20s, imagine how they playing in the teens. Like, that could be there. Just wait, enjoy your life, find good friends, because that friend was strange for doing that, backdooring you behind a dude. Just enjoy your life. Like I say, I always tell people, don't be in a rush to grow up. Enjoy your life. I know what happened, but cut him off, cut her off, and just move forward in a different direction right now, because all of that is not worth it, and it's not gonna be worth the stress. Then when you think back on, like, damn, my high school years, I didn't have the most fun because I'm beefing over a dude or stressed out about a dude. Like, no, you got all your life to be worried about a man, and it ain't at that time. Yeah. So y'all, we got a Miami girls trip from hell. So we gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna do a few more NGLs, and then we're gonna be done. Hey Symone, my story's a long one, but so much happened, so be prepared, okay? So it was my best friend's birthday coming up, and she kept bringing up going to Miami for her birthday. At the time, I didn't really want to go to Miami because I was hitting with so much financially that I knew it would be a struggle to even go. I told her that I wasn't really sure if I was down to go, but my friend ended up convincing me to go, and she kept making me feel bad, saying no one else I invited wanted to go, and you're my best friend. I wouldn't want to go with anyone else. So I put all my bullshit aside and made a way to get some outfits and plan for her birthday. She sent me a bunch of Airbnbs in Miami, and we ended up choosing one. Mind you, I was under the impression that it was going to be us staying in an Airbnb together by ourselves. She had me send her half of the Airbnb, which I didn't have no problem with. But keep that in mind. We live like 3 hours away from Miami, so the day before her birthday, we ended up driving to Miami. We get to Miami around 8 p.m. and the Airbnb she booked was under her name. And when she sent it to me, I really didn't look that deep into it. I just looked at the photos and was like, okay, that's nice enough. We get to Miami and pull up to the Airbnb and notice it's a gated apartments. We can't get inside the gate without the code. My best friend is saying she never received a code from the host, which sucks. So here we are, 8 p.m. trying to get in contact with the host, which I was irritated of anyways, because usually when I book an Airbnb, I make sure everything is aligned before I get there. And I love my best friend to death, but it's like, come on, girl. We took like 20 minutes trying to get in touch with the host, and he was not answering us. Long story short, we called the host, and he finally answered, talking about, I don't have no Airbnb in Miami. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Mind you, it was a verified contact number on the Airbnb link. So we looking at each other stupid, and I'm fed up. I already want to head back home, because Airbnb notified us, could refund us or get us a hotel. But it wouldn't be until the next day to relocate us. Or we should get a refund, but the funds wouldn't hit until 3 days later. So she pulling out her phone, trying to contact people she knows, and she ended up contacting her guy friend. Said that we could come over there. He has a B&B that he think he could get us into, because apparently he has connections. I'm annoyed still, but I just want to lay down after all this driving. I didn't want to be in no ninja's face. Fast forward, we end up over at his place, but before we go inside his place, my friend randomly detours and pick up a random girl. that she knows that lives in Miami. I never met this girl before, and it's crazy because she didn't say anything about how she was going to include anyone else in our plans, but I wasn't tripping that much. I was just annoyed because of the whole situation. We go to the dude's house, and he ended up just flirting with my best friend the whole time, smoking with her and struggling to find a B&B. He was a scammer, so he kept saying something about waiting till his money hits, whatever that means. Ended up staying at his place in his guest room until we could get another place. Thankfully, he didn't try nothing weird except with my best friend, but that's besides the point. Fast forward, we get a new B&B. I ended up having to send my friend a little bit more money. New B&B was a little higher price wise. Mind you, her friend that I just met that lives in Miami, she ended up coming to the new B&B with us and didn't pitch a dime to stay with us. Also to note, the new B&B was more cost wise, but only had one bed for all three of us to share. So I'm still over the trip, but trying my best not to do the most since it's my best friend's birthday weekend. There was so much more that happened, but I don't want the story to drag out. Just know we went out a couple of times, ended up in places we shouldn't have been for the plot, but in all, I hate girls trips because it's always some bullshit, LOL. Girl, I would have been mad. That's another reason why when it comes down to like trips, I like to book my own. I like to make sure I book it or send me the confirmation. I need to see it. Like, I need to know where we going, how it's going to go. Like, I need to know. I need to hit you up. Did they send you a confirmation email? Can you call? I just be needing that because I feel like every time, well, I have one friend, I would never let her book anything else again because she always do some BS. It never fails. And I just hate that. I swear I hate that. And I hate when you do something that you didn't really want to do, but you do it for somebody else, and then it just always turned out to be something stupid. Like, that'd be so annoying. But and then that's messed up. I feel like for your best friend to be mad too, like for y'all to be best friends, I know of course she knew that you had like financial shit going on, so to try to pressure you about going on a trip is messed up. Like, if I had a best friend and we going somewhere, or if I'm going somewhere for my birthday and I know she don't got it like that, I'm not gonna press you to go. I'm not, because at the end of the day, I know how I would want to do something, especially on trips. I'm never finna, if I know I have a friend that's going through something financially, I'm never gonna invite you on a trip because I feel like that's selfish. I know it's certain stuff that I'm gonna want to do. When I'm out of town, I like to try new food places. I like to eat places that I don't got back at home. I might want to shop. I might want to go to the club and buy shots just because I'm outside. I might want to do a whole bunch of stuff, go to different places, museums, a whole bunch of things. So it's like I would never want you to come because, one, I'm not your mama, so I'm not about to be paying your way through this whole trip. No. And then two, I wouldn't just expect you to go broke to hang out when it's like I could just wait till you're able to afford it and we do it another time. Like, it's no hard feelings if you can't make certain trips. We're grown, so you know people have life and stuff going on. It's understandable. Like, I would never get mad at nobody for not being able to come somewhere because they can't afford it. Like, that's life. It might be a time where I might be going through something financially and you understand that, hey, I can't make it. But that's so annoying. That room would have really pissed me off though. One thing about it, I hate when it comes down to where I'm staying, where I'm sleeping, where I'm leaving my stuff. I need everything to be secured for sure. So this one is the NGL. It says, I think about women when I'm getting ate out. I think I might be a lesbian. Girl, explore your options. Why not? If that's what you're thinking about, go ahead and explore. Go to a club, meet a woman, explore your options. Do it the safe way, of course. But I feel like if that's what you're thinking about and that's what turns you on, then most definitely you have a thing for women and you should explore that. Like, why not? Like, I feel like, why just think about it when, you know, because you don't want it to be something in life where you end up getting with somebody, or say, for instance, if you do fully like women more than you like men, and say you get with a man and you marry him and you're unhappy in your marriage and you did all of this and you never got to fully live your true happiness. So I say go for it, explore your options and do it. Don't like just think about it and then never explore it and then be miserable and always think about what you could have or should have did, you know? I don't know. I say go for it, sis. Okay, this one says, am I wrong for liking someone who likes my friend? Yes, you are, because he likes your friend. He doesn't like you. So that means that you're going to try your best to do anything to compete with your friend so this man could like you more, and which is already a big no-no. You shouldn't like nobody that even looks at your friend look at none of that. None of that at all. Because it's like, no, it's so many more men out there, and how he treats your friend, if it's because of how he treats your friend or just the vibe or whatever, or based off how he look, what one man do with one woman ain't what he gonna do with all of them. And plus, you shouldn't want nothing that your friend has. So let that go, cut that off, deal with somebody else, because that's really trifling for real. Like, I would be so offended if I knew I had a friend that liked my man. Like, I don't even look at my friend men or anybody that like my friend in that type of nature. Like, once you like my friend, I don't even see you in that type of way. I don't care if my friend is dogging you out and you the best man in the world. I'm never gonna think like, damn, that he should be with me. Never, ever. No. Okay, so it says, can you give me advice on how to stop attracting taken men in my life? Am I maybe not asking the right questions or meeting them at the wrong places? For one, let me just say one thing. Don't meet that man at the club and take him serious, sis. I know it's hard because it's rare that you meet a guy that's at the club and he don't always be in the club. A man that's always in the club, don't take him serious. It be a lot of men that be in the club all the time and they be having a whole girlfriend at home. Girlfriend ain't never even seen a club. Ain't never even went to the club. Can't even go take a shot with him in the club, but he in the club with his homeboys and they got girls in the section. Your girl and her friends can't come to the club. But yeah, I feel like I always say this, never take a man serious that you meet in the club unless it's that rare case where it's like, let me see, that rare case where it's like, I'm here because my friend's birthday, I never really even come out, you know, whatever. But I feel like meeting a man at the club, a lot of times they be in relationships. Let me see. Some other places, I feel like ask early on too, so you won't even waste your time doing that. But it is kind of annoying because there's a lot of dudes that for some reason they stay in their situationships because they be homosexuals and they don't have nowhere to live. Or it's affordable to stay with their ex because they don't have to pay that much because they're going half on rent. Or it just be a lot of fucking bullshit. And it's so annoying because it's like, grow the fuck up, get a fucking job, and get your own motherfucking shit. So you ain't got to be in a situation where you need somebody else you need to depend on somebody to live. I know y'all probably like, girl, does this hit home? Maybe. But anyway, yeah, dang, it's annoying though. It's kind of hard. But I just say in certain sceneries, just don't take men serious. Like I would say clubs. It's some other places that I would say don't take men serious. And you got to just go to like, it's hard because it's not all guys are like, it's not always the disrespectful or hood or certain type of dudes that's cheaters. Like it be some guys where you could run into and he could be like a good guy, real sweet, real kind, like, you know, got a lot going for himself and whole time he living a double life too. So it's like kind of hard to say. But y'all comment down below where you should never meet a man and take him serious at. I would say the club for sure. That's my big number one. And I feel like always ask, do your research, search up that number on Cash App, find his name, look him up on Facebook, look him up on Instagram, find what you need to find, and then when you find it, block him and move on if he got that going on. Don't even waste your time trying to talk to him. Don't nobody want nobody else, man, because yeah, he just looking for the next house to move into. Trust. So I'm talking to this guy and he was once engaged. We started messing around. Anyways, I know, girl. He got married and had a baby with her. And while it's not my proudest moments, we are still active and we both know we need to stop. But for some reason we can't. Can you give me advice? Love you, girl. We was just talking about them taking niggas. Sis, cut him off. That nigga is something. I hate men like that. I would be so devastated to be the wife. And girl, you should know. I know you say it's not your proudest moment, but you know your karma is gonna be crazy. Because why would you? For one, I'm talking to you, and then you get engaged to somebody else. You should have cut him off right then and there. Because did you know he had a girlfriend? Or even if he lied and been like, oh, it's not this or that, whatever. I don't know. You got engaged. And then not only did you get engaged, you moved forward and you got married. And you had a baby. What the fuck am I doing here? This man is living a double life. He's getting the best of both worlds and you're allowing him to do that shit. Girl, walk away from that situation. Please. Because you ain't gonna never walk away with like, I wish his wife knew so she could walk away too. Because this man don't deserve to be with nobody, honestly. He's a sick bitch. Like, it's just crazy because it's like, why even waste this woman's time? You know you dealing with somebody else on the side, and I'm pretty sure you probably not even the only other side girl this man is dealing with. I bet you. If you went through this man's phone or went through anything, I'm pretty sure you would find out, dang, I'm not even the only side girl. And a lot of times when people be on the side, they always feel like, I don't know your case or your situation, but a lot of times when people be dealing with somebody on the side, they be feeling special. And then when they find out it's other girls in the same position as me on the side, they be like, wow. When it's like, you knew he wasn't shit to begin with. But 9 times out of 10, this nigga's just a dog. Why did you waste this girl's time by marrying her, by proposing to her? And it's crazy because I bet you the proposal probably came after he got caught cheating. Because that's a big one that dudes like to do. I get caught cheating, now let me marry you. And some women take that as, okay, yeah, marry me and I'll stay. Bitch, I wish I would take a cheating proposal. I am not doing it because it's nothing going to come out of that. Like, how could we move forward? Like, in their case, this man is still doing whatever he's doing. Not me making a whole scenario saying he got caught cheating, that's why he proposed, and then he's still wasting her time. I don't know. But a lot of times it'd be like that. Sorry, girl, cut him off. That's wrong. Y'all wrong as hell. Both of y'all, cut him off. And I hope that woman sees what's going on. If she don't know, I hope she finds out what's going on with him and whoever else he's doing this with, and she walks away from him, because that is crazy. One, it's unhealthy in so many ways. It's unhealthy because you could spread stuff, and then two, mentally it's unhealthy because there's so many people out here that's not mentally stable. So say he's dealing with somebody else and he try to cut them off, and then they want to come harm his wife or his child. Like, you know, you're putting her in so many different ways to, like, you're putting her life at risk in so many different ways. Like, people don't understand that cheating is not, it's so much that comes with it. And it's just irritating. Like, ugh. It's just annoying. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Y'all comment down below. Y'all comment down below whatever y'all have any advice on, or whatever y'all felt in any of these stories and you want to comment on. Y'all comment down below, because I love when I see y'all comment. A lot of people, we all be going through a lot of the same things too. When I do Subbie Sundays, I be noticing, because I be seeing people that be like telling their story, or like, oh, I went through something similar, or they have advice for something, or I had a friend or something like that. I be loving the think pieces, and I love when y'all give advice or tell y'all, like, you know, suggestions in the comments. So go ahead and do that. I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all in my next video, which will be, I don't know. Okay, I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace out.